Crusader News, local business coverage. Providence platform on the scene of Cousin Crow's custom crafts. Crusader News, Joe Richards. I'm here at the very loud Cousin Crow's Custom Crafts flagship store, which when opened in 2949 here in Orson, the event was so massive that the very Providence platform I'm standing on registered a record-setting number of control bursts to maintain its proper altitude. People packed the store and overflowed up the stairs in both directions, overrunning the Crusader Discovery Store and Kovalex areas. Crusader security considered ending the raucous event early, but worried about how the already rambunctious crowd might react. As culture reporter Sebastian Frost of my cohort remarked, half of Lowe's spent their life savings to attend this thing, and they aren't leaving until all the booze is gone. The store was built out of a series of old repair bays that had formerly been used to maintain Crusader's fleet of cargo haulers. The open design allows customers to see ship customization in action. Yet for the opening extravaganza, these repair bays held classic ships, or pieces of them, that showcased Cousin Crow's most famous mods and paints. Nampo Vasco, aka Cousin Crow, has noted that throughout the location there are designs and pieces of his work, from the very humble beginnings all the way up to a small piece of the first Kraken privateer, a ship that is synonymous with commerce in some of the farthest reaches of the verse. The shop features an incredible amount of vibrant graffiti-style murals that pay homage to Vasco's home neighborhood of North Block in New Junction. Designed by friend and frequent collaborator Tofo Danto, the murals are meant as both a reflection of where Cousin Crow started and a reminder that no matter how much his life has changed, a part of him remains the same kid from the wrong side of New Junction. Nampa was born in New Junction in 2883, and he spent his days raising heck with friends instead of working on his equivalency. He would later state that his primary education came from smuggling runs right by his own mother, seeking to pay off the debts accrued from her own gambling addiction. Unfortunately, Nampo's mother would frequently sneak contraband in and out of New Junction. Nampo's role on these trips would be to provide a cover story and act as a distraction if any authorities paid their unwanted attention. When Nampo was 12, his mother suffered her biggest loss wagering on the Merry Cup. In order to pay her debt, she agreed to loan Nampo to the local Banu criminal Soli. The Banu put him to work on a wide variety of tasks, but Nampo fell in love with stripping ships for parts. It was through his work that Nampo would acquire the first ship he ever attempted to repair himself. That 2894 Cutlass was featured prominently at the opening event of his headquarters store, with a sign describing it as the ship that made Cousin Crow fall in love with all ships. Even after helping pay off his mother's debt, Nampo became a regular at the Banu facility's chop shops and grew more and more entangled with New Junction's criminal underworld. Nampo continued to work on ships and absorbed the Banu philosophy that no design was sacred, and everything could be improved upon to look or work better. He created ship liveries for fake companies, modified internal layouts to build smugglers' holds, and so much more. Yet Nampo grew not just as a ship modeler, but his ambitions to build a business for himself. Seeing the amount of credit smuggled made compared to chop shop workers, Nampo assembled a group of friends and stole a Constellation. Under Nampo's direction, the group reworked it into a smuggling ship and used his underworld connections to do small runs.
A replica of that Connie's very smuggler hold is on display at the opening. It was described as his first failed design for not properly concealing his contraband. In 2905, the advocacy, operating under an anonymous tip, arrested Nampo and his crew for smuggling and sent them in a rehabilitation facility. Nampo found prison life both excruciatingly mundane and terribly dangerous. As his friends fell into gangs, Nampo instead used his boisterous and affable personality to survive. His jet black hair and ability to float between groups earned him the nickname Cousin Crow, cousin being slang for the facility for someone that could be trusted. After hard work earned him an early release, Nampo returned to his North Block neighborhood, scraped together credits by doing ship repairs and modifications for people he met through the connections he made in prison. Since they all knew him as Cousin Crow, he went with the name, when opening a small shop customizing all sorts of ships in 2924. Cousin Crow's custom crafts grew into a North Block sanctuary where folks could hang out safely. Though he stayed on the straight and narrow, Cousin Crow happily and expertly tricked out ships to be as audacious and inconspicuous as their owners desired. Often, he hired friends fresh out of prison, or looked to leave the outlaw life and work at his shop, the most notable being Tofo Danto, who would go on to design some of the company's most famous liveries and graffiti-style murals currently adorning the Orison headquarters store. The original shop's reputation slowly spread and attracted customers from outside the Corel system. Cousin Crow's big break came in 2942 after partnering with the luxury tour line company to modify an old Genesis Starliner into the ultimate party ship. A massive marketing campaign saturated Spectrum with images of the Starliner and made Cousin Crow's name in ship conversation circles across the empire a constant topic. A piece of that party ship was also on display for the store opening, described with the ad's campaign's infamous tagline, "So much fun it shouldn't be legal." Not long after, Drake executives invited him to visit their headquarters on Magnus. They were enthralled with bringing Cousin Crow on board, showing him plans for their first capital ship, and offering him a chance to make an exclusive livery for the launch. Cousin Crow countered with an even bolder idea. Over the years, many of his clients hired him to convert the ship's holds into Banu-like marketplaces. Rather than have an aftermarket retrofit, how much better would it be if he could just work with Drake directly? The executives loved the idea, and soon the Kraken privateer was born, sealing Cousin Crow's reputation as one of the premier conversion shops in the UAE. Soon Cousin Crow found himself successful beyond his wildest dreams, and with more credits than he could ever spend. He became a connoisseur of high-end street fashion, generous patron of his favorite artists, and a classic ship collector. He also poured credits into businesses that drastically expanded his shop in the North Block and hired his friends and family at sky-high salaries to curb any lingering temptations to run afoul of the law. In 2944, following his recent successes and his earlier impressive party ship Starliner conversion, Crusader Industries reached out to Cousin Crow to see if he was interested in overseeing its engineering team responsible for converting branded Starliners to customer specifications. As part of the deal, Cousin Crow negotiated for a flagship store on one of Orison's most heavily trafficked platforms, and the rest is history. From a wild child to wildly successful entrepreneur, Cousin Crow has become the most beloved hero on the North Block. Residents look to him for achieving success without turning his back on where it all began, a feat he achieved by adapting to any situation and seeing a potential for change itself, both in him and other people, and most importantly, never forgetting the ships. That was a reading of the jump point entry of 9.10. It's the lowdown of Portfolio Cousin Crow's Custom Crafts. It has been released to the public as of September 14, 2022. This is a reminder. I really would like to see more of these stories from Jump Point brought over into the fold. I am a subscriber currently. I'm off and on a subscriber, just being all the cards on the table. But I would like to see more of these that come out after a defined period of time, let's say a year, 6 months, whatever it is, then they become public. So more of this, please, lore team. If you ever hear these, more of this. Release these, have some fun with them, and also props to you guys and gals for the wonderful wiki entries and updates you've been doing. Okay, so that's it for me. If you like these, there's going to be 2 more videos at the end here. They're going to both be lore videos. I love lore. I know they're not the most popular on the platform, but I can't help but put them out when I see them and enjoy the comments. And I particularly enjoy with this one the Starliner references, because I feel like that's a big kind of window into the next couple of years about seeing, hopefully, a few different designs, maybe variants, maybe modularity in these Starliners, and kind of seeing what we can do with them. It'd be very exciting to see a party Starliner, a VIP Starliner, maybe a casino Starliner for the VIPs, etc. That kind of thing I'm thinking of, alongside your more straightforward, mundane ones with a small bar and, just some coach seats on both floors. So it'd be very exciting to see anything to do with the Starliner in general. Cousin Crows also is an awesome operation. This video's B-roll that you're seeing run throughout it is from Crow's Customs in-game, captured in 3.17.2 live, and that is where it's at. It's on the Providence platform. If you spawn in Orison, you jump on to the Providence platform shuttle. So like when you leave the Habs, if you're walking towards the rest of the platform that you're on, it's to your left, basically. Don't go over the bridge. It's straight to your left, the left shuttle, not the right one. And you'll see it says marked for Providence platform. When you get there, you walk across the platform and then go to the left. The stairs downwards is what you're looking for. There are signs. They're not huge, but they are there. And don't worry, you won't fall off when you walk down the stairs. I know it looks a little weird, especially at night, but there is railings. All right, that's going to do it for me. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I wish you all a wonderful day or night.